Ray goes on about the way in which the process of trial was conducted at Bethel at the highest level, and about even while the trials were going on, the rumors were rampant about what was happening at headquarters, and the word apostasy was everywhere, even if not, at least as yet, no accusation of apostasy has been actually leveled at Ray himself. He says the governing body knew that within days after the disfellowshipping of the headquarters staff members, rumors of the same kind contained in this tape began circulating within the Bethel family. The apostates, and that word is in quotation marks, were forming their own religion, had been holding separate meetings, baptizing people. Their new belief went under the name of, quote, sons of freedom, unquote. These and similar expressions were common talk. They were all also totally false. Governing body members presiding at the morning Bible discussions made many comments about the apostates, but did not see fit to expose the falsity of the rumors circulating. Those rumors went unchecked and eventually spread all over the globe. Yet every witness who passed these on was speaking, even if unwittingly, false testimony against his neighbor. The only ones in position to expose the falsity of those rumors and thus help stop the false testimony were those of the governing body. Why they did not choose to do so, only they know. I do not doubt that among them there were some who honestly believed that the things they were hearing were factual. But I believe that in their position and with their weight of responsibility, they had an obligation to investigate and to help others to realize that it was not factual. It was fiction, and not only fiction, but hurtful, even vicious fiction. I would not argue that errors of judgment were all on one side. I do not doubt in the least that among those of us brought to trial, there were cases of injudicious statements. The evidence indicates that some of the most extreme statements were made by a man who, on being approached, quickly offered to become a witness for the prosecution, testifying against a fellow elder. I do not personally know the man. I've never met him, nor do I know the other elder. They are totally strangers to me. I do not think it was wrong for the headquarters to make at least some inquiry into the matter as a result of the information that was brought to their attention. It would be entirely natural for them to do so. If they believe that what they teach is truth from God, it would be wrong for them not to do so. What I find very difficult to understand and to harmonize with Scripture is the manner in which this was done. The precipitous reaction and hastiness, the methods employed, covering over with and withholding information from persons whose life interests were intimately involved, whose good name was at stake, the devious approaches employed to obtain damaging information, the coercion through threat of disfellowshipping to obtain cooperation in getting such incriminating evidence, and above all, the spirit shown, the crushing despotism, the unfeeling legalistic approach, and the hardness of the actions taken. Whatever injudicious statements may have been made by a few of those put to trial, I think the facts show them to have been far surpassed by the means used to deal with the matter. As in the Inquisition, all rights were held by the inquisitors. The accused had none. The investigators felt they had the right to ask any question and at the same time refused to answer questions put to them. They insisted on maintaining their judicial proceedings secret, entirely away from observation from anyone else, yet claimed the right to pry into the private conversations and activities of those they interrogated. Their judicial secrecy was proper. The exercise of confidentiality, their evasiveness, was simply being practical, strategic, but the efforts of the accused to maintain the privacy of their personal conversations was labeled as being devious, as evidence of a hidden conspiracy. They expected their own actions to be taken as evidence of zeal for God, for revealed truth, while at the same time they suspected the worst in all that the accused had done, made no allowance for their sincerity in wanting to put God first, for their love of truth, even when that truth was contradicted by traditional teachings, that is, of the Watchtower. So you can hear in the way Ray writes this the total dismay in his, not so much in the procedure itself as in the way it was conducted, the lack of love, and the willingness to hear what amounts to a breaking of the ninth commandment, the bearing of false testimony or false witness, the failure to draw upon multiple testimony and to conduct an open trial. So not only the breaking of the ninth commandment of the 10 commandments, but obviously violation of what the New Testament says about our obligation to love brethren. Love, we read in Paul, is long-suffering and always kind, and it believes all things. Where is all of this? Where is this kind of love in this, the way the Watchtower dealt with what it deemed apostasy? In the next segment, the story of Renee and Ray is taken up again.